Well, look, the American economy is booming. We've seen 5.8 million jobs created in the wake of the president's effort to roll back red tape, cut taxes, unleash energy. You see job creation all across Pennsylvania and all across this country. And we'll continue to advance policies that will create a growing America. But we have an undeniable crisis on our southern border. The president and I have literally been talking about it for the past 2 years. And we heard from the other party that there was no crisis for a time, but now I think every American recognizes, and every leader in the Democratic Party should recognize that the crisis is real. It's time to set politics aside, and Congress should come together and work in good faith to pass the kind of changes in our immigration laws that will take away the enticement that human traffickers use to attract vulnerable families to make the long and dangerous journey north. We think that's the priority. We'll continue to stand for a growing economy, but ending the crisis on our southern border is the #1 priority for this president and this administration.
Last question.
Following up on the earlier question, you said that the president is going to evaluate Mexico's proposals today. So as of now, the tariffs will go into effect on Monday, and how optimistic are you that any agreement can be reached between now and Monday?
Well, the president announced 5% tariffs will be imposed on Monday on all goods coming in from Mexico. That's the policy of the United States. The president has said what he means, and he meant what he said. We made that very clear to the Mexican delegation yesterday, that for anything to change, either before or after Monday, Mexico has to step up. Mexico has to take decisive action to end this surge of illegal immigration that is literally overwhelming our southern border. There's actions they can take. We made recommendations to them. There's been some movement on their part that's been encouraging, but at the end of the day, as those discussions have wrapped up today, we'll evaluate those proposals. We'll present them to the president, but ultimately President Trump will make the decision whether or not the actions that Mexico is prepared to take are sufficient for us to consider changing course. But at this point, the tariffs are going to be imposed on Monday. We've made that very clear to the Mexican delegation, but discussions are going to continue in the days ahead. And our hope is that Mexico will respond. And the president's fully prepared, not just to impose the 5% tariffs, but to increase those tariffs in the months ahead. But we hope for better. We hope to see Mexico step up and take such action that's necessary to end this crisis of illegal immigration at our southern border. If they take that action in earnest, we believe that we'll be the best neighbors they ever had. And we conveyed that spirit in our meeting yesterday. We want to see this issue resolved because, as I said to the Mexican delegation, there are people being hurt on both sides of the border. And the time has come for Mexico to do more. We'll continue to call on our Congress to do more, to close the loopholes in our law. But Mexico and the American people can be confident. President Donald Trump is going to continue to stand firm until we end this humanitarian and security crisis on our southern border.
How do you convince the
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.